And we are live. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Alien Spaceship stream. You could be watching from anywhere around the world or anywhere in the galaxy. Coming to you from a galaxy far, far away. This is the Alien Spaceship. We have some interesting things to talk about. We're going to continue to talk about the Shapeshifters and the trials I've seen today and much more as well. I will be switching over so everybody can see me in a moment. Okay. And hello, everybody. It is me, Alien Spaceship. I hope everybody's been having a good day, a good week, and hello there to Remy and Frog. And Remy is the first one, and then we have Frog, who is there a second. All right, so hello to both of you. I appreciate y'all being here. And now, what I do always, I will be starting the game and also talking about the different topics at the same time, and a little bit get into the different articles and things like that. All right, so here we go. It's going to start. Yeah, so today it was very interesting with the Lori Daybell trial. It had the openings were today, and nobody really knew for certain if it actually was going to be today or not, because they've been saying for a couple of days it was going to start, but it doesn't. So it finally did it. I thought today was extremely interesting. It seems that Lori was not she was not really doing any cross examination, any cross. She was doing just being sick, as she claims to be sick. Then towards the end, she started examining with her Timu voice that she has, and everybody was making jokes about it. Yeah, so I saw that, and I was focusing on the first date murder trial because I was seeing that one first, and it's about to be closing. And when it was closing today, I was like, wait a minute, I just started, but it was a week ago, so time just went by real fast with that one, and I think that one's guilty, and everybody seems united on that. And tomorrow, the Nemesis, the aggravation Karen Reed trials is tomorrow. Yeah. And also, I hope that if I didn't say this already, I hope that you both, Remy and Frog, are doing good today. Yeah. So I think that with I feel the judge in the Lori Daybell trial, she was, I think, very cringed about Lori because she usually aggravates him, and I could kind of see that today. And then they're just asking about the bullet inside the that hit the Tesla. It's a graphic trial. It's obvious that she had something to do with it, because she's there. So I'd say she's guilty over everything that she did. It's a very sad situation. Hopefully, the surviving relatives can have peace about this, and there could be, although she's gonna be locked up for life anyway, that justice can be served over it. Because we have a situation where you have trolls that kind of come in the chat and will talk about her being innocent or she has a nice voice, and those people, they just want to get a reaction. And I don't really. I like to play around with them. It's fun, but these people just want a reaction, I think. Yeah. So we're gonna put our symbol here. Yeah, yeah, very cringe. I remember I went in there in the chat today and I said, Lori cringe bell. Yeah, washed out leather belt. Yeah, yeah, I remember that. Yeah, it's just it's a complete nonsense. A complete nonsense. She certainly is. I don't know. I don't think she's sick, or if she is sick, she's not that sick. Because I think that she's being dramatic and making excuses because that's how she is, and I think she likes to defend herself and also make a situation where she's in the spotlight. Like she wants to manipulate everybody to be in the spotlight and to cause problems to everybody around her. What I mean by that is she likes to create reactions because because of this the disorder that she has where she needs to always have attention and think she's innocent and shouldn't do anything wrong. It's how she is, and she likes to cause problems to people. Because by the crimes that she did, she likes to cause crimes to people. Yeah, she is definitely sick in the head. Absolutely. I saw Kathy Smith. It was it was good seeing her for a moment. I was at Trial TV Live also, was telling them hi as well. But then I saw the Ryan Hall, y'all, the weather dude on YouTube. There was a big tornado going on in the country. So there's a part of the United States, Remy, which you like are very where in the west part there's a lot of plains and open spaces, and it looks very different than like where I am because it's such a big space. Mine's more denser, and also it's a city. When I was in Mississippi and these other areas, I'd say it was more spacious, but there's trees and stuff, and then you have. Because I was in Kentucky before, it's kind of more. It's like rolling hills and some trees, but some parts there's no trees or anything, just complete plains. And there is this tornado about to brew. Oh, hello, Liberty. Good to see you. And so it was a gigantic storm. It was huge. It was a tornado. It looked like the Dust Bowl that happened, where they had this. All the dust came up and it was messing up the whole country. It looked like that. So the tornado was able to take up all this dust. All right, Liberty. I hope that you had a good day today. And yeah, it was just spinning around and it was taking up all the dust with it. And that was extremely. It was incredible to see. It was a terrible tornado, but it was very big and very incredible to see. The storm chasers were trying to capture it, but their connection was having problems for obvious reasons. Because the connection doesn't really work well in those storms. Yeah, so the Navy treasure fleet is going to be coming in a couple of moments. That'll be interesting. So that's something else that I was seeing today. I like seeing the different weather events that happen because there's going to be some weather coming towards where I am, and it started out in the west first. And tomorrow we'll see if there's a verdict in the first state murder trial. I think he's extremely guilty, and his attorney didn't really do too much. There was probably not much to do, and he didn't really seem like he had a lot of passion to him either. So I think that's going to be a obvious guilty verdict. All right, so that ship is going down. Okay. I think that weather is an interesting thing to to know about. And I saw how tornadoes were made. How it's the highs and lows kind of spinning around, and it starts spinning and it keeps on going. Interesting how that works because it just seems like a bunch of clouds and wind formations. Yeah, and with Karen Reed, I'm going to continue to see that trial, but it's going to be a war zone as usual. The first state murder trial is obvious, and I feel that there is more unity and peace with that one. But that won't be obvious. And with Lori Vallow, that's another one. Lori Daybell's also obvious. That one's obviously going to be guilty. But we'll be entertained as the trial goes on. Scared. Some Timu entertainment. All right. All right, firing at the Phantom ship. I saw some cats before I got here. And I moved them around, and I fed them, and I went to bring one to another room where it used to be. It likes going. I kind of like rotate them around. It was nice, and they were all behaving. And that was something good to see. They're behaving. Sometimes they want to get a little bit out of hand, but this time they were being behaved. And with Lori Daybell, I think that she's doing it on purpose. The voice that she does, she's doing it on purpose. Being at, having that kind of that voice she has, she's trying to maybe charm the jury or the judge's thought. She's completely, but people could see through what she's doing, though. Absolutely. All right. And I do not know what's going on with the Carlos trial. I don't know what's going on with it. We got some ogre ships. Okay, Remy. Have a very good night. Thank you so much for stopping by. All right. I want to get some. Thank you, Remy. I really appreciate that. Very sweet. So, what I am going to do is I took some more videos of Claude. He's a cute cat. I haven't put up shorts in a while. I have to go manage some stuff on the phone. Then I'll be able to go and upload them. Yeah, but I will say this year and last year has been like some of the most active years so far with the channel, and I really appreciate the growth that has happened. And I'm gonna have to dock because it's going to go down. You see, usually situations like this, you get a crew to fix it, but it's just me right now. So, and I wanted to collect the plunder, so we're gonna go here, down this way. And then dock. Excellent. And that is the nice Big Dipper. I really like the Big Dipper. In a little bit, we're going to be talking about the shapeshifters and different things like that. In a little bit. For now, we're going to be playing the game for a little while. Alright, so getting rid of this crab. Now these fellas are, yeah, they're undead. They're from France, and they were these zombie pirates. Now, Pirates of the Caribbean, the movie, they don't really have a lot of zombie. They have one movie with the zombie pirates, but these were some characters that were never put in a movie that I know of, including the crabs. I never seen anything like that before in a pirate movie. Well, it looks kind of similar to some of the stuff you'd see on Davy Jones's ship, but it's all good. It's quite interesting. We're going to throw some sand. We're going to throw. I'm going to throw another thing. This will upgrade the dagger because the different weapons have different levels in it. So that is what I like to do. I like to upgrade the different levels. Now by doing this, I almost got destroyed, but I was able to take the treasure. Okay. I won, but I still passed out. So it's okay. I see the character rises up after it gets arrested. Interesting. It's like the Navy authorities come and pick me up and throw me in this cell. Okay, we're gonna repair that. I thought it sunk, but it didn't. I'm gonna go and repair it manually for a little bit, then probably bring it back in to get it repaired. You know, like the game is like a movie in itself. So I think that's also something interesting. All right. All right, that's good. All right. Now I gotta patch up some of the holes in this ship. they kind of do something different in this game than they used to, where they had the brace. They used to have a cross brace, but the cross brace was usually in the like kind of earlier versions of this game. They kind of mostly took they have taken it out. Maybe they thought it was too complicated, but I've seen it before like once in recent times. It's more rare. All right, perfect. All right, now bracing that together. Okay. All right, so this is going to be a little bit more repaired. Then we're going to go take it in and have it manually repaired. Well, not manually repaired, but we'll have the dock fix it. Okay, just going to go in. Okay. All right. I do not know the whereabouts of the Carlos trial. I'm not familiar with what's going on with them. Right now, the pumps. It's interesting to see how these ship pumps work. With Titanic, they had ship pumps, and it was not enough to take out or save the ship because of the damage it had, but it was enough to keep it leveled so it can sink straight and it wouldn't like tilt around too much. So that was like the point of those pumps. That's why it sunk the way it did. So even while it's sinking, it still can do it better, sink better than other ships at the time. It probably did better than other ships would have at that time anyway. Like if the other ships were to have sunk, it would have been way worse. One ship, it took, although it was hit by a torpedo, the Lusitania took like 18 minutes or 17 minutes, and Titanic took 2 hours. They're kind of different circumstances, but still, you could see the Titanic would take a little bit longer to sink. And these ships are just wooden ships. And I think it's so fascinating how in these virtual environments they're able to have these things created. All right. All right. Go to one of the islands. Do some things. So I like fighting these different enemies at these islands. It's very, very fascinating. Very fascinating. Let's see something here. Alright, so to Cutthroat Island. Or Isle. It's Cutthroat Isle, technically. Now we are docking. We are docked. It's kind of like the same little critters. Some more zombies. You know, it's kind of like, I wonder if the zombies feel stranded on an island, and they're angry that they're just abandoned on an island. Because I know they're the undead, or the undeleted, I should say, because they were pirates or privateers, or like this dude's a bandit. You know, so he was a bandit and he was put on this nice island. So I guess they're trying to say that they use these islands for as graveyards, and they came back to square up. You know, they're just angry. So these, I'm way higher level than these things, so it's quite easy to. So this is a Spanish undeleted that's a conquistador. Okay, it's probably from the 1500s, 1600s, maybe even a little bit earlier. And at some point, Jolly Roger resurrected them, but not in the way that God would resurrect. It's some sort of dark magic. If anything, the spirits of the original people are probably not even in these things anyway. It's probably some demonic spirit in it. Alright, so continuing forward. Yeah, kind of the same thing. And we already have a swashbuckler pistol. Take the gold and go off. Yeah, this, as I said, reminds me of a zoo or the Amazon forest. Yeah, it seems like this was a giant graveyard. Oh, you upgrade the health. Okay. An undead pirate, huh? Okay. I'm scared. I like how they did this water. It's quite and the different colors in it. It was very a good effect right there. That's treasure only usually for a quest. It allows that to work out. Yeah, this area is just a bunch of zombies. Just a bunch of Spanish that were buried here. Kind of like above ground graves. Yeah, this is just a graveyard. Okay, this must be the other side. Well, that was easy. Alright, so I just came across a ship and I was able to neutralize it. Okay. I'm gonna actually go aboard this ship, see what happens. I'm scared. Gonna board. Alright. Oh, we're doing pretty good. Alright. Taking this one down and this one too. Alright. Oh, awesome. I got plunder. I got right back on board. And we sunk it. Awesome. Yeah, this thing right here is coming out of nowhere. We're gonna fire at this ship right here. I shot the bubbles. Alright. Probably see what the cat wants, but I would have to put a message in the chat whenever if people come in tonight, where I am exactly. If I have to go and see what the cat. If the cat's doing good, he might be asking for something. Oh, there's other pirates out there that sunk. Okay. Okay. So that's pretty cool. It was already being attacked by another ship. Scared. That was a good hit. All right, that's awesome. Okay. Find another island to dock. Okay, so we're gonna go this way. Okay, so now going to be docking right here. Get some of the loot. All the loot. The cat might be coming over here. Let's see. He's coming this way. Okay. Come on. Alright. Let's see. We'll BRB. We'll BRB. I want to here, come on. Over here. Cat has been quite talkative before I did the live stream. He was talkative, and he just is being a bit active, and that's fine. Okay. All right, so that's what he wanted. Just back a little bit for a few moments, and we'll go back. Okay. I am back now. All right. Took care of that. Now we'll unpin this. And then remove. Okay. This island has a cave. Very interesting. Let's go see what is going on in here. Oh, this is Davy Jones's island. Probably going to go out. Not quite. Yep. Before I could press it, it went out. Because that staff is a lower... The staff is not high enough to take them out directly. But with the sword, I could take them out easily. So I'm just kind of practicing with the different weapons I don't usually use. Alright. Right now we're going to go to the ogre, this ogre ship. Alright, now this way we're going to go and attack through that direction. Alright, good. Now what we're going to do is sink some other ones. Alright, now going to the other ogre. Scared. Then going this way and firing like that, like so. There you go. this direction. Alright, so we're going in this direction. Alright. Oh, they hit me with somebody hit me with something heavy. And it took the whole ship down. Oh, okay, Miranda. Oh, and hello, Miranda. It's great to see you. And thank you for being here and supporting me. And I hope that everything gets better in the future, but thank you for letting me know what's going on. Yeah. So, repairing this. Alright. Okay. Now I'm going to do is see it's the sun is now setting in the game. I'm gonna go to the probably the scary island. Walk around there. It's starting to get close to sunset. All right, Miranda. God bless you also. And the fake news, yeah, the fake news certainly will do that. But I think in the long term we will win, in spite of what the fake news says. But yeah, I understand how you feel. Well, thank you, Miranda, and may thank you for the blessing of having good days for me. Thank you, and also I wish this and pray for the same for you as well. Yeah. So so yes, sometimes basically where this is kind of random, but see with the pirates they used to and people on the sea they used to use the stars and stuff to map out where they were going, and I've been noticing yeah, of how the constellations kind of change up a little bit. That was my point. And Miranda says, "Can you maybe talk about politics for now? About Trump and Elon? The devil has pinned all sides against each other, and it's been a horrible day for me. The devil's been in my house too. Well, I rebuke him in the name of Jesus. And yeah, what I'll do now is I'm gonna go dock, and I'll go pull that up, and we'll talk about that. Okay, right now." Just gonna have to go to the shore over here, and we'll talk about Elon and Trump. Yeah, I've been mostly keeping up with trials and doing YouTube, but I've kind of am aware there's something going on between them, and yeah, that's what they do. They're very skilled at that. Yeah, amen in Jesus' name. Yes. Congress. Congress. Yeah, okay. All right. So let's learn some more what's going on. Okay. Now we're going to go here, and we are here. I'm going to switch over to the other window here. And now we're going to talk about the situation. let's read about this. Okay. Here, tab. They're fighting. Yeah, when I was seeing the fake news is making them fight, and it's working. It's so sad. It's the devil. It's not okay. They're arguing over false information. Oh, Miranda, I do think that the fake news is doing this, and they're trying to turn them against each other because they do that. They turn people against each other, and they don't want them to have peace. And yeah, because it could happen to anybody and anywhere, and they do that. So well, let's read about what's going on with these two beefing. Okay, so the ugliest things Trump and Musk just said about one another. All right. About 10 minutes into his bilateral meeting, the German Chancellor, which I know that the German Chancellor was meeting Trump today. I did see that on the side of the screen while I was watching the trials. Friedrich Merz, the Chancellor of Germany, on Thursday, President Trump was finally asked about the domestic elephant in the room, Elon Musk, and his sharp criticism this week of Trump's agenda bill. Quote, he hasn't said anything about me that's bad, Trump said. I'd rather have him criticize me than the bill. Trump certainly got his wish. By the end of the meeting, he and Musk had quickly moved from what had been a legislative difference of opinion into a realm of personal attacks. Musk effectively live tweeted his response to Trump's comments on his social media platform X, getting progressively more personal, and Trump ultimately hit back hard on his own platform, Truth Social. It's heating up. And Miranda says, I'm disappointed in Elon, too, for opening his mouth about Congress, but he wasn't talking about Trump. The fake news is twisting it, and now it's completely out of control. Yeah, and I think if people have problems with each other, they should talk to each other in private or do it a little bit differently than they're doing. So I think in this situation, the emotions are high, and they're just blasting off at each other. It's quite unfortunate because a house divided against itself will not stand. And I understand, what the fake news is saying. I understand. It was the kind of clash many predicted would eventually arrive when the two powerful, outspoken, and unwittingly billionaires formed their alliance of convenience last year. And it's now arrived in a big way. Late Thursday afternoon, Musk responded to an X-user who chose Elon over Trump and called for the president's impeachment by simply saying yes. It's increasingly... Miranda says Trump knew sadly that Elon wasn't happy about the bill. Right. It's increasingly hard to see how this spat got resolved without getting even uglier, given what's being said. Shortly before the Oval Office event, Musk specifically invoked, "Oh, hello, Tom." He said that he had a feeling it would eventually happen. Understood. And maybe fights happen, and hopefully they can get back together. But, I do think that the news and the media are trying to turn them on each other, or trying to stir the pot at least to make it worse. It's increasingly hard to see how this spat gets resolved without getting even uglier, given what's being said. Miranda says, Tom, people were hoping and betting on it. Don't hate Elon. I just think he's having a Kanye breakdown. Okay. It's increasingly hard to see how the spat got resolved without getting even uglier, given that's being said. Shortly before the Oval Office event, Musk specifically invoked Trump's flip flops on the national debt, citing years old tweets when Trump was more of a professional spending hawk. Where is the man who wrote these words? Musk asked. Was he replaced by a body double? Scared. But Trump has never been particularly sensitive about his rhetoric consistency or physical conservatism. And as minutes wore on, things got much more personal. Here are the comments so far that really stick out and will seemingly be hard to move past. Did you know today, Alien, that Elon said Trump is on Epstein list? It's a lie. It's sad. Right, and I'll say that if Trump was mentioned in something, it doesn't mean that he had anything to do with the horrible things that happened. Trump was he knew everybody, like kind of like on YouTube where we've talked to a lot of different people. It's like, I don't think Trump was involved with anything, but I think that certainly the media used a lie or twisted something around to make it look like something it isn't. So what Elon said, yeah, it's completely. He's trying to make Trump look really bad, like saying that he's trying to do stuff to children and things like that. I think that's messed up. That's going too far. Now, yeah, I don't think that he had anything to do with it. That is crossing the line. Elon going there, no coming back from that. Because there's many people that might be mentioned, but it doesn't mean those people did anything. Like I remember there was some document about there's a list and somebody talked. He talked to somebody on an airplane for 5 minutes. It's like it doesn't mean that he's doing anything creepy with kids. To accuse him of that, I think is completely not right. And Tom says, if there were something incriminating about Trump regarding Epstein's, it would have been released. And the media is hungry for something about Trump to be released. They're hungry for it. They really need to. Like, they would really want that information. So I don't think that there was anything he did that was wrong. Like, he just is a businessman that knew all different people everywhere. I mean, and he's been around for a long time. And before he got into politics, he was very well loved and liked. When he got into politics, he was hated, just like in a flip of a switch. The facts are, I read the Epstein flight logs, and Trump was on there once because he took a flight from Epstein, but that does not mean that he is what they say. They are just because he took one flight. Exactly, Miranda. Thank you. So, yeah, he was on a flight, and that's it. It doesn't mean anything. And it kind of reminds me, Miranda, of trolls and haters like we deal with on YouTube, where they'll like twist stuff around and hate on different people in the chat. That's what the fake news and these people are doing. They're doing the same thing that the trolls and the haters do, in my opinion. Musk linked Trump to Epstein. Musk really went there accusing Trump and the administration of withholding information about disgraced financier and convicted P-word file Jeffrey Epstein because it invokes Trump himself. Quote, time to drop really big bomb. Real Donald Trump is in the Epstein files. That is the real reason they have not been made public. Musk wrote, have a nice day, DJT. Yeah, he's crossing a line. Definitely. He's crossing a line that no one should be crossing. When you're doing stuff that Trump is doing, when you do stuff like that, when they think you're like an emperor, or like you're at the top, everybody's going to try to tear you down. It's same thing, Tom, like we've dealt with the chat rooms. It's like the trolls in the like fake news, they're going to attack. So that's why everybody's after him. Like, they're not going to go after somebody that's doing nothing. Like, he's doing something. He stands for something, and they're going to go after him for it. Right, exactly, Miranda. Right, right. Now, he said, Elon said he does believe in Jesus, but he believes in some sort of different way than like what we believe it. Not the same kind of way we believe. But he believes it in some other sort of way. But he's not like what we are. Something Albert Einstein said, Jesus of Spongebob or something. It's some kind of a scientific view of it. Trump forgives people a lot of things, but he won't forgive that accusation. Right. Yeah, you're accusing someone of being a P-word file. I mean, that's really bad. That's really going... That's really bad. He later added, mark this post for the future. The truth will come out. Musk did not detail how he would have gained access to unreleased files. Musk did not detail how he would have gained access to unreleased files and the inclusion of a person's name in a files related to the cases not by itself indicate that they have been accused of any wrongdoing. I think that it's quite known and quite clear that he was mentioned because he took a flight, but that wouldn't incriminate him. We already knew this. And I think the reason the Epstein files have not been released is because he doesn't... There's more powers that be, in my opinion, that don't want to be exposed. Nothing to do with Trump. It has to do with all the other people everywhere that you'd be shocked that did something. So, yeah, I think that's a much bigger problem than just one orange man. I don't think in this situation that's what it has to do with. And, quote, this is an unfortunate episode from Elon, who is unhappy with one big, beautiful bill because it does not include the policies he wanted. The president is focused on passing this historical piece of legislation and making our country great again, she said in a statement on CNN. Elon has nothing. If he did, why wait until now to say anything? Tom agreed. The world's crashing out, and I with it. So we have this situation where they want to try to destroy the progress that has been made, and they want to cause a divide and conquer situation with Trump and Elon because they were friends, and all of a sudden they were turned on each other. Miranda said, I get why people say the world is ending. Yeah, I just read that. Trump's proximity to Epstein in the past is not exactly news. Even CNN is acknowledging, even CNN of all people is acknowledging that Epstein and Trump having known each other is not big news. So if CNN is saying that, then Elon, I think, is a loose cannon operating on his own. And he could have accepted lies of the media. As I said, it's anger. And you got to remember that anger, if it controls you, you're just a puppet. And you're just a toy. And it's not that we're angry at people. We're just angry at our perception of them, of our view of them. So that's why it's easier said than done, but to not let the anger control a person because you can manipulate them into doing stuff like this. So, as I said, I think he's operating on his own. Well, I'm officially really upset more than most people will ever understand about it because it's just so effed up that they're making everybody fight. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, Miranda, and also, I share frustration with you because we're going to be growing up in this world, and past decades had problems, but it could have been a little bit more united at times. And what is going to happen to the world we're going to be growing up in as we get older? Is it going to be crashing around us because of this? It's like, what's happening here? It's like, what are we doing? It's like, this kind of stuff has to stop. So I could understand the frustration, because the other generations have already grown up and been around the block, but we're just about to go around the block. So yeah, it is apprehensive about what the future holds. We have to also trust in God, that God holds the future. God is all power, and that He will bless us regardless. But there will be trials and tribulation, and we don't. The end could be coming soon. You never know. So it's something to be concerned about. And also she says, Tom exactly, literally hurt very bad about this for winning with the division. He is acting like a petulant child. Yes, absolutely. Trump's proximity to Epstein in the past is not exactly news. He's been photographed with Epstein, but Musk's alleged allegation, made without providing any evidence of where it came from, feeds into concern in some right-wing circles about the lack of transparency about Epstein, who was deleted because of suicide. In my opinion, it might not exactly be that, but they claim suicide, but it probably wasn't. In 2019, while awaiting trial on federal sex trafficking charges. All right, so the news is acknowledging that Elon's allegations are not valid. After everything Trump has done for us, Elon Musk does this and buys the fake news like it's junk food. Hurt, I am crying badly, having a drink. This is, So I'm glad you understand. God bless you. Yeah. Shout out to Tommy's cool people. All right, so basically, in my opinion, I think that after everything, Elon, he brought Elon in his cabinet. They were together in the same place, and Trump has done a lot for Elon, and vice versa also. They've done a lot for each other. And for him to believe this is just extremely cringe. Miranda said, thank you. I'm not doing okay, guys. I'm sorry. I believe in Jesus since I was 12, and He will save me. I don't feel okay. This isn't okay. Miranda, He will take care of you. Christ will take care of you, and it's understood. It's understood about how you feel. You have a complete right to feel that way because things are not okay. That is true. Absolutely. And also another thing. Oh, hello, Regina. It's great to see you. We are talking about the feud between Trump and Elon. So Elon is going with the news and accusing the Orange Man Trump, that I call him Orange Man or Trump, but I've been calling him Trump because I just use it interchangeably. They have been, so Trump, Elon is accusing Trump of being like on the Epstein files, and that he's like trying to say that he did something wrong, but it's like he didn't. It would have came out already if he did something wrong, in my opinion. And it's well known that they knew each other, but he didn't do anything creepy. And that Elon, Miranda and chat were, in our opinion, we are disappointed with Elon that he is doing this and buying what the fake news is selling. So that is something. Yeah, exactly. And Regina said, Elon versus Trump will not end well. It won't. We need to have unity. We can't have division. They were very, close. And I think it's good for people to not blast others on social media. I think that's a mistake. I think people need to take their matters and talk to each other privately, or, try to resolve a conflict that happened. And, first he was criticizing a bill that he passed, criticizing Congress. Then the news twisted around, and now there's this hurricane, tornado hurricane. For instance, there is a situation where you have, you know, I was watching Ryan Hall y'all earlier, and he was showing the tornado, and it hot and cold, different highs and lows also come together, and it's like tomatoes hitting a wall, and it spins. And I saw this gigantic tornado in the Great Plains today. It was quite incredible. So that's what happened, and just like with a hurricane too, it's like it just escalates to the point where it's not going to end well. Definitely. Oh, look at this, chat. Scared. Musk took a shot at Trump's election win. The most sacred of topics in Trump's eyes is his election wins. Trump claimed he would have won the crucial state of Pennsylvania even without Musk's help, but Musk, who spent hundreds of millions of dollars and campaigned for Trump, shot back that he was, in fact, reason Trump won the presidency. Oh, so he's saying that he's the reason that Trump won the presidency. Oh, hello, G. It's good to see you. Right now we're talking about the feud between Trump and Elon. So it's a political topic right now. And I'm glad to see you. Welcome here, and I hope that you're having a good evening. All right. Okay, quote, without me, Trump would have lost the election. Dems would control the House with Republicans, would be 51-49 in the Senate, Musk says. Musk then added in another post, such an inaugurated, did I read that right? Such an ingratitude. Oh, okay. Ingratitude. I've not seen that word before. Okay. There are a few topics that Trump. Oh, okay, G said, okay, let's go. I'm all for it. Respecting all and have no skin in the game. I'll agree with both sides. Okay, G. Okay. So, there are a few topics Trump takes as seriously as his reputation. And right now, I'm reading something from CNN. That is what I'm reading from. I read from different sources. So, and that CNN is saying, surprisingly, that for them to criticize, for Elon to say that Trump was part of this, doing these nefarious things with Epstein without any evidence, does not really show proof that it happened because he was mentioned in it. So they're even kind of saying that, Elon is, the allegations he's saying is not exactly true. So what I think, in my opinion, is that it's good for people to try to get along and not have these type of fights, and they should have taken matters privately and not have taken this out on the grand stage of things. So he was criticizing a bill that he did. They have a feud. As I said, it's like a domino effect. It just is getting worse and worse and worse. So as I said before, that we all get angry, and we all have times when anger takes hold, but when you let anger control you, you're just a puppet on a string. So this is just not going to end well, in my opinion. Virginia said, Miranda, they're acting like high school girls with all the back and forth. And as I said, a fight can go both ways. It takes two to tango. It takes two to tango. So I hope that this can be resolved for the country to be, put together in a good way. Miranda said Elon must have hated not having to be paid good for him. He has a lack eye, and I don't hate, but he isn't saved also. Right. G said, hi, honey, I can't believe if they were tight. You are right. I couldn't believe it. Hubby told me, but we both said it back, and we knew he'd turn on him. Musk did help him. And G said, what made them turn on each other, though? I mean, we know it when two people that are tight and one helps the other. Eventually it comes to a head, but happened faster than I thought. Exactly. I'm glad that we all feel the same here. Thanks, everyone else feels divided. Exactly, exactly. And so Elon was criticizing a bill that Trump was putting out. He was criticizing another thing that Trump did with his presidency, that he was the one that helped him. And I also think that with Elon, he's angry about the bill, he's angry about inflation. He seems like he's mad about everything. It's happened, you know, even with me. It's like, say, I've experienced things like this before where like someone criticizes something, then they criticize this and they criticize that, and they just go on and on and on and on and on. That's what is going on in this situation. And G says, generally, when I say I don't dislike either side, I don't love or hate, I simply leave it to God. And G says, or that he didn't get attention, he doesn't need the money. I personally think they had a deal. Trump said, you help me win and I will do anything you want, pass a bill, etc. Interesting, G. Okay. And that is interesting theory. And we also, we believe that the news and the media were trying to turn them against each other also, and it worked, or he believed things that the news was saying. But it could be, either way. And then there are a few topics Trump takes seriously as his reputation as a winner. He often talks about how his endorsements help Republicans, and that he has endlessly exaggerated the size of the electoral victories and mandate. It's clearly a point of emphasis, and Musk just went there. The question is, and let's not argue, are we adults and we all can agree to disagree, and no one but God knows the true heart of anyone? We can be siding with people who are the opposite of what we think. Exactly. And I do think at the end of the day that we have presidents, people that may not even know who we are, and like which one is really a good person. Like you would know in a certain situation if like, who would donate a kidney to this person or that person. So I think that the person itself is also good to analyze and to leave all things up to God, and that our family and friends is what we have in front of us, are our own people. And I think that should be our main focus. But at the same time, these matters, we have to leave in God's hands. But we research them and learn about them and discuss them, but we also have to leave it in God's hands, because he has the whole world in his hands. So Jesus said to not worry about anything, but leave it in the hands of Christ Jesus. And that is, very important. But nothing wrong with talking about this too. Also, Miranda says, gee, oh, I read that one. Elon must have hated not being paid. He also had a black eye. Sorry, Elliot. Okay. Thank you for clarifying what you meant. All right. So Regina said, "Who here has Barron's phone number? I bet he'd tell us what was going on. There's a backstory here. Something went down after Trump gave him that key." G said, "We don't know them. Good one kidney. That's who I want. Someone who I can look up to. I have friends who tell me, oh, we don't look up to the people we side with at all, but we like the..." Yeah, exactly. As people will do that. And, it's human nature. And that's why we have to put God in that spot. Christ, God, however you want to do it, that God is the one that should be looked up to. And the people that can be looked up to are the ones that actually do earn that. And G said, politics for me, I have always put the human above all else. How can you be a good anything? You can't even be good moral human being. If you can't save my life, how are you running a country? Right, exactly. So in that situation, that's how you would really know who is the good person, who isn't. Right. And I'm famous for being known for this, but I do think there are fine people on both sides, as Trump said one time. I do think that there are people on different spectrums of the political spectrums that are cool people, and people that are different religions that are cool people. So I do think that they, it's important to look at the person, like how the person is. And G believes, I mean, all presidents, they are the same to me. And there are people that think that, because it's like, are both sides two sides of the same coin? Or do they really have our best interest? I think that is also something that is fine to make analysis about. Are all presidents just the same? Is it just too far gone? So it's something important to fathom. Thank you, G, very much. Very wise. All right, the next part. Trump suggested Musk is out for himself. Scared. Trump, like other Republicans in recent days, suggested Musk's criticism of his big, beautiful bill wasn't really about excessive spending, as Musk has said it is, but instead about one of his personal business. His business is Tesla. Not me. I side with no one. I side with whomever is honorable and I can look up to, who cares about us. Exactly. Exactly. Quote, Elon's upset because we took the electric vehicle mandate, and which was a lot of money for electric vehicles, Trump said in the Oval Office. Quote, he only developed a problem when he found out I would cut EV mandates, Trump added. Oh, Tom, I didn't know about that. Trump later posted on True Social that Musk went crazy over the EV. Oh, this is hilarious. And I'll see what G says in a second. Well, I am sure they each believe the other is looking out for themselves. Isn't that how people are in those positions, Alien? I do agree, G. I do agree. Definitely. I would hope that there would be a president, or is a president, that is looking out for the people and not themselves. I would hope so. But usually it does seem like they're out for themselves, G, when they're in that position. Thank you for not being afraid to talk about the thank you. Oh, you're welcome, Miranda. As I said, I was mentored by ABL. I was on his channel for 5 years, and he taught, and I've been his last caller on the show. I've been very active with him, so yeah, I've learned from the best, definitely, about doing this kind of commentary. Musk sought to call Trump's bluff, encouraging lawmakers to keep the EV subsidized cuts but trim spending. Quote, whatever Musk said, keep the EV solar and sensitive cuts in the bill, even though no oil and gas subsidizes are touched. Very unfair, but ditch the mountain of disgusting pork in the bill. I love my friends, family, and kids who need help, elderly people. G said, Tom, huh? Someone hit him. Are you kidding me? Scared. I trust you guys, to be honest. If people I respect tell me one is better than the other, I trust you guys. Thank you, G. Thank you. Musk pointed to the past comments in which he actually discouraged lawmakers from enacting EV tax credits. He also pointed to a clip in which Trump himself said that Musk had never asked me for anything. And Regina said, I noticed the black eye the morning he gave him the key. Ah, scared. But and also, Musk pointed to the past comments in which he actually discouraged lawmakers from enacting the EV tax credits. He also pointed to a clip which Trump himself said that the Musk had never asked me for anything. Whatever Musk said, keeping the EV, solar, and incentive cuts in the bill, even though the oil and gas subsidies are touched, very unfamiliar, but ditch the mountain of disgusting pork in the bill. But perhaps most strikingly, Musk promoted a post from the chef GOP critic of the bill in the House Rep Thomas Macy of Kentucky. Quote, some politicians get into politics to enrich themselves, Macy said, and quote, maybe that's why they can't imagine someone would judge a bill based on what's good for the country instead of what's good for their wallet. G said, who at the age beats each other up? That's secondhand embarrassment. OMG, how humiliating. The world has changed, Alien was right. The world wasn't like this before. Both sides respected each other. G said, Regina, wow, OMG, my hubby probably knows this stuff. I am going to ask him. Let me call him. He's upstairs watching tennis. So, basically, even when I was watching the Romney and Obama debate, they were so respectful to each other. It's crazy. Like, if you watch the debate between Romney and Obama, they're very respectful, and they're very two gentlemen. Now it's all over the place. Now, my grandma that was around, she's in her 80s, so she was growing up in the 40s and 50s, and she said that, back in her time, people were so much different back then, and she really does not how the world is turning out now. And say with JFK and Nixon, very respectful gentlemen, very respectful. But I don't know. Everything is going downhill now. It's turning into a wrestling match. All right. So continuing, quote: some politicians get into politics to enrich themselves. Macy said, maybe that's why they can't imagine someone would judge a bill based on what's good for the country instead of what's good for their wallet, end quote. That seems a pretty sharp dig at Trump, who has intermingled his personal business with his role as president. Pence in his second term. Oh, hello, Duke. Good to see you, buddy. G said, okay, hubby said he heard Musk and Trump are at odds, but didn't hear about the black eye either. Okay. Yes. I said a lot of things, but okay, I'm going to just repeat myself. So basically I'm going to repeat myself. So my grandma, who was from, the 50s and 40s and, back then, she was saying about how back in her time people were much more respectful to each other, and now things are going not like how they used to be. It's not really happy how the world is turning out. So that's what I was talking about, the quote that I'm reading. All right, so G, I'm going to go back and read what I just said. All right, right now. I'm going to go read it again. It's going to be a couple of different things I'm going to read, but eventually we're going to get to the part that you're referring to because I read a couple of things. But it's going to be okay. It's going to get it right now. Musk pointed in the past comments in which he actually discouraged lawmakers from enacting the EV credits. He also pointed to a clip in which Trump himself said Musk had never asked me for anything. But perhaps the most striking, most prominent, a post from a chief GOP critic of the bill in the House Rep Thomas Macy of Kentucky. Quote, some politicians get into politics to enrich themselves. Macy said, maybe that's why they can't imagine someone would judge a bill based on what's good for the country instead of what's good for their wallet. It's okay. It's okay. That seems pretty sharp dig at Trump and intermingled his personal business with his role as president. in second term. Trump's comments have, to this point, been largely suggestive about Musk's motives, but Musk has clearly taken offense, despite the White House claiming this week that it had been previously aware of Musk's opposition to the package. Trump on Thursday claimed that he was in fact surprised. Quote, "I'm very disappointed because Elon knew the inner workings of the bill better than almost anybody sitting here, better than, people." Trump said in the Oval Office he knew everything about it. He had no problem with it. All of a sudden, he had a problem. Quote, "But he knew every aspect of this bill. He knew it better than almost anybody, and he never had a problem until right after he left." Trump's helping everyone who hates him. It's wonderful. It's okay if you don't like Trump. I'm okay with it. I won't argue about it. And G said yes, and he had won, I guess. The media asked if we couldn't tell, and he was in the Oval Office, and Trump was, we all said you should have wet black eye. And Musk responded that Trump's version of events are false. They need marriage counseling. That's what they need. They need marriage counseling. He wrote that this bill was never shown to me even once and was passed in the dead of night so fast that almost no one in Congress could have read it. G said, "Miranda, so you think Musk is the one who is wrong? Just asking because I don't know about any of this, TBH. I don't really watch TV or news. I just at my desk all day working and chat." Musk leaned into the power struggle. Okay, G. I understand. Thank you for clarifying. I'm scared. Musk leaned into power struggle. Musk seemed to put to rest any questions that this somehow isn't de-evolving into a power struggle. Responding to an ex-user who noted lawmakers are feeling pressured to pick a side, Musk made a case for them picking him. G said, "Right, marriage counseling. Of course they are going to each other to say the other is wrong. They agreed they'd not be arguing." Quote, "Oh, and some food for thought as the pondered a question. Trump has 3.5 years left as president, but I'll be around for 40 plus years," Musk wrote. Oh, wow. In other words, tread carefully. I have lots of money at the time. Yeah, I mean, this is completely turning into a clown show. Completely a clown show. And Trump floats cutting Musk's government contracts. Trump later posted on Truth Social that if lawmakers wanted to really save money, they should terminate Elon's governmental subsidies and contracts. When a user claimed that Trump's idea would mean effectively abandoning the International Space Station, Musk promoted the post and dared Trump to go ahead and make the day, he wrote on X. Musk later said he would begin decommissioning a key spacecraft. Buckle up. It remains to be seen where things go from here. Trump often reconciles with allies even after ugly things are said, but rarely it is other figures, someone as powerful outspoken as Musk. The power dynamics are usually such that the party feels pressured to cave in to Trump. It remains to be... Okay, I read that. Okay. Yes, G. Amen. Yes. All right, I'm going to read some more about it. Also, I'm going to read another article. Gone too far. GOP lawmakers rally around Trump after Musk raises Epstein allegations. And Regina said, hey, maybe Trump and Elon are trolling all of us. I would put it past them to spin a tail. Yeah, it's possible they're doing it for publicity or for to get attention. It's possible. Tom said, gee, the whole thing is unfortunate. That is true. House GOP lawmakers are accusing Elon of going too far after he suggested President Trump was in the Epstein files. Hopefully, we never have to answer questions about tweets like that from Elon again, said Rep. Pat Fallon. The R Texas calling Musk's comment not helpful. Elon crossed the line, Rep. Chip Roy, R Texas, told Fox News Digital. Musk referenced that late P file Jeff Epstein in relation to Trump Thursday as part of a larger triad against the president and Republican leaders over their budget reconciliation bill. G was scared. Imagine we're all being duped. Some people think it's all some WWE style show. If it weren't the Epstein stuff, I would think so. It's like celebrities who are always creating drama and pretending to argue, divorcing, and all that, are doing crazy stuff to be in the news. Exactly, exactly. Miranda said, question, if anyone knows, can you help a neck injury or TMG with cracking, stretching? So far, it's helped a lot. I'll look that up right now. Neck injury. Thank you, G, for helping Miranda. Cracking your neck when done carefully and gently through stretching can potentially provide temporary relief from neck pain and stiffness by releasing pressure for the neck joints. The cracking sound you hear is likely caused by releasing air bubbles in the fluid within your joints. However, forcibly or aggressively cracking your neck can be harmful and potentially lead to further injury or increased pain. G said, so it might say it will help her, but when I went to the ortho for injuries, they would say ice it. There's a theory that we can look up. I think joint, it's ice, and it's flesh, it's heat. All right, let's see. Okay, so might say will help, but when I went to ortho for injuries, they would say ice it. There's a theory that we can look up. I think it's joint. Okay. Okay, according to AI Google, yes, ice can help joint pain by reducing inflammation and swelling, and potentially slowing pain signals to the brain. However, it doesn't directly speed up the healing process and may even slightly delay it by reducing inflammation, which is an essential part of the recovery. And then you have an ice, it's flesh, it's heat. Mm. Heat therapy can help muscles. Yes, heat therapy can help muscles increase blood flow, which brings more oxygen and nutrients to the affected areas, promoting tissue repair and reducing muscle stiffness. Yeah, so yes, you're correct about both. About, yes, flesh, muscles are helped by heat, and joints, it's by cold. I wouldn't manipulate it because I make my daughter constantly help me massage me hard. I like it when she presses it, but then I suffer from the next few days. Doctor told me this girl fight is nothing compared to Biden being a zombie for 4 years. G said, I know for sure one put heat on the other, you put ice, but often they say alternative for inflammation. He told me ice. That's hilarious. All right. You're welcome, Miranda. We're glad to help you. Musk referenced the late P word file Jeffrey Epstein in relation to Trump Thursday as part of a larger triad against the president Republican leaders over their big budget reconciliation bill. Your daughter helps your neck. Okay, that's good. It massages your neck. The tech billionaire accused Republicans of adding to the national debt, currently nearing 37 trillion, with legislation they've called Trump's big beautiful bill. I will say I'll get to you in the moment, G. I will say that I watch Silver Slayer. He's a good YouTuber. I've talked to him before. He talks about like investing in silver over other things because silver is something tangible that is undervalued that will go up as time persists. And basically, what everyone could agree on is that the national debt is so bad that I don't think anybody's going to fix it. So everybody's going to add to the national debt. Yes, G, he said he's involved with Epstein. Yes, like with the creepy stuff. G, we talked about it earlier. We talked about but it's like, we'll still talk about it while you're here. And yeah, Lori did cross, later on, and she was just being annoying. And the judge kind of like scolded her a few times, and it was funny. That's what happened. And they left for the day. And there was no verdict. They didn't start the verdict watch for the other trial, for the first state murder trial. They didn't start it yet. They went home for the day. They'll do it tomorrow. But most of the day, Lori was very quiet and didn't have anything to say. And she's still acting like she's sick and doing the stupid voice she does. G said, OMG, that is crazy. I hope we don't suffer because of this girl fight. Oh, I love that name. That's what happened when you allow people to say all they want. The price of freedom of speech. You can't demolish a president like that. Anyone good or bad, I think we should respect any pres. Yes, G, I agree. I agree. You're welcome, G. Time to drop the really big bomb. Oh, okay. You saw the baby talk this morning. Yeah, I remember people were talking about it this morning with her baby talk, but she stopped for a while, then she went back to being baby talking. Yeah. Quote, time to drop the really big bomb. Trump is in the Epstein files. That is the real reason they have not been made public. Have a nice day, DJT. Musk wrote on X. Mark this post for the future. Truth will come out. So yeah, Trump took a flight and he talked to Epstein a few times, but he was not involved with anything creepy, in my opinion. Yeah, they're a girl fight. Yeah. Republican Troy Nehls, Republican Texas said Musk has gone too far. National debt tracker American taxpayers are now at the hook for $36 trillion. G said, I mean, the outside world's destroying your own president is bad from its ugly. You can't stand your own president. Discuss it at home amongst yourselves. You don't tell others. Other countries. Oh, yeah. Okay, G, understood. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Like, if you have a problem with somebody, it's best to go and be sequestered and then talk about it. Some Republicans argued that any damning information about Trump, Epstein, would have already been revealed if it existed. Quote, what I would say is if Joe Biden had Donald Trump and the Epstein logs, there is no question it would have come out during the campaign. Republican Randy Fine, Republican Florida, told the Fox News Digital, so I don't know what's promoting it. I think it's all unfortunate. Republican Tim Burchett, no, Representative Tim Burchett, R. Tennessee, questioned why Musk would let his young son, nicknamed X, around Trump if he believed he was closely associated with the Epstein. And G is absolutely right. Thank you. Because it looks bad how are other countries going to respect us if you know what I mean. They will laugh at us all. That's all I mean. It's ugly to show the world your hand. Exactly. I think that people showing the world the hand is extremely wrong because, that's what happened before. It's like they showed the hand, the other guy didn't show his hand, and then he won the battle. So there is this a feud when Steve Jobs was still at Apple a long time ago where he got fired by the board, and he did it kind of like on purpose, according to this movie, which is actually like in real life that happened, because the other guy said in the movie he showed his hand and the other guy didn't. And you see, that's what they do. When people anger you, they control you. So it makes our country look like a humiliation when people do stuff like this, because we're supposed to be the leading country of the world, the free world, the most wealthiest one on the earth, and maybe not the most wealthy country on earth, but one of the most powerful countries on earth, and you're going to go and do stuff like this. So I certainly think that Elon has let his anger get the best of him, and so is Trump. But accusing him of being a zero file, not I don't want to use zero because shout out to Zero that is likes to be in our chat. It just to remind it rhymed with another word, so I'm going to rephrase that. A P file, accusing somebody of being a P file, that's really bad. That's really bad. And that's why I think that Elon's acting completely inappropriate here. Regina, I think they probably are trolling us. Definitely. Absolutely. You see, like, when they do this kind of stuff, it's talked about a lot in the media. And it gives them, like, clout. Quote, the Biden administration would have put it out. There's nobody that the Democrats have hate more than Donald J. Trump, and he's handing them their lunch every day, so I don't put much faith into it. Burchett said, why would he let his kid hang around if that were true? It just doesn't make any sense. And now he's calling for his impeachment. I mean, it's just going off the deep end. Oh, yeah, G, I agree. I don't like that either. You have to do it in private. Do it in private if you have a problem. They're doing it out in public like this. It's just really cringe. Rep. Anna Pauline Luna, R. Florida, who is leading a task force on declassifying federal investigations, including Epstein's, told reporters she did not think Musk's suggestion held water. Speaking to Jeffrey Epstein, I will be very specific that I do believe that President Trump was in the Epstein files. They would have released it during the primary, and they didn't, Luna said. Tom says, gee, the fact that Elon is sporting a black guy from getting into a fight with another official shows that he isn't thinking straight. So the fact is that I do not believe that President Trump is in Epstein files. The way it's being implied, and G told me about in law, like they will go and read a story, read a book, and make the story look like something it wasn't. That's basically what Elon is doing, in my opinion, being implied. But either way. Either which, this is why we continue to push for transparency. Rep. Ralph Norman, RSC, however, stood apart in his answer in calling for more transparency into the Epstein files. The facts will bear out whatever they will. Norman said, the Epstein files are bound to come out, and let it come out. We ought to see it. America has a right to know, just like they did with John F. Kennedy files, Bobby Kennedy files. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt attributed Musk's triad to Trump's bill, which is focused on working the middle-class tax relief and not benefiting Musk and his companions enough. Quote, this is an unfortunate episode from Elon, who is unhappy with the one big beautiful bill because it does not include policies he wanted. The president is focused on passing this historical piece of legislation and making our country great again, Leavitt said. Senator Pete Ricketts from Nebraska told Digital, I could not tell you what Elon Musk's motivations are, but I can. Shout out to Mary Toodles.
15 minutes, okay?
Mm-hmm. But I can tell you what we're going to do, which is avoid a $4 trillion tax increase on the American people. Let's see. And while it's well known that the men were acquitted, with a source familiar with the matter pointed out that Trump had kicked Epstein out of Palm Beach Golf Club. Trump had permanently banned Epstein from Mar-a-Lago for hinting for Trump had permanently banned Epstein from Mar-a-Lago for hitting on a teenage daughter of a club member, according to a book. So you see, he was against what he was doing. Quote, the administration itself released Epstein files, which the president's name included. This is not a news surprise Elon is uncovering. Everyone already knew this. The source said Elon is truly thought to the president. The president was more deeply involved with Epstein. Why didn't he hang out with him? Both sides of the CNN and Fox are both saying the same thing. Like, why is he hanging out with him if he thought he was doing stuff to children? As I said, to accuse someone of that is like the worst thing you could accuse someone of. That's like, I think he could get sued over this, But as I said, hopefully Regina's right and we're all just being trolled. More deeply involved with Epstein. Why did he hang out with him for 6 months and say he loves him as much as a straight man can love a straight man? Scared. All right. So that is that article. Miranda said they got both sides to fight like they planned. They're good. I don't fall for it. But all besides us. And Miranda said media is loving it. Exactly. All right. I'm going to talk about one more thing, then I'll be ending it. It'll be done in a moment. That's a shapeshifter that looks kind of like an angel, a fallen angel. All right, in Armenian mythology, shapeshifters include, I'm probably pronouncing this wrong, okay, because I don't know the language. In Armenian mythology, shapeshifters include the Nahag. It's Nhang, a serpentine river monster that can transform itself into a woman or a seal and will drown humans and drink their blood. Or beneficial Shahapet, a guardian spirit that can appear either as a man or a snake. Yeah, that is true, Tom. Right. Oh, hello, Sharon. Good to see you. We were talking about the feud between Elon and Trump right now, and Elon's accusing Trump of being on Epstein's island doing creepy things, which, it's not true. So as shapeshifters are being talked about in the Carlos trial, that's why I was kind of talking about shapeshifters for a little bit. Yeah, so there's the one from Armenian mythology, and I think that there's certain abilities these supernatural creatures were able to have that we weren't able to have if they are real. And people and stuff, that's why I say from the fallen angels or from the people with special abilities from God, or, either way. Like, it's some sort of a gift that could be used for good or bad. In Philippine mythology includes Aswang. I said that really funny, by the way, but it's probably not how it's pronounced. A vampiric monster capable of transforming into a bat or a large black dog, a black cat, a black boar, or some other form to stalk humans at night. The folklore also mentions other beings such as the Karper, the Ticklblog, and the Ento, which changed their appearances to woe beautiful maidens. Also, talesmen called the Anting and Eating Brutude, The local dialect can give their owners the ability to shapeshift in one tail. In The Monkey Wife, a woman is turned into a monkey, only becoming a human again if she can marry a handsome man. All right, and I'm going to go into Spongebob randomly. And Sharon said, "Oh, I heard that, but I did. Did you hear that Musk was doing a ketamine and hallucination drugs? Was bringing like 20 pills to wherever they were going?" Let's see. Let's see. Yep. Yep. Elon Musk allegedly took large amounts of drugs, including ketamine, while advising Trump report. Elon Musk engaged in extensive consumption while serving on one of Donald Trump's closest advisors, taking ketamine so frequently it caused bladder problems and traveling with a daily supply of approximately 20 pills, according to the claims from the New York Times. The world's richest man regularly consumed ketamine. All right, so that is true. He allegedly did that. Yeah, you see those drugs that can mess with your brain. It stays with you forever. G said, "I agree, Alien. Trump can sue him for Epstein crap. You can't just accuse someone like that of something that horrific, linking him to Epstein, not without 100% evidence." Exactly. Yes, he got a black eye for punching. He got punched by. I don't know who the person was named, but Regina was talking about it. But yeah, he got into a fight with another official on X for fun. All right, Regina, thanks. Oh, thank you, Tom. Thank you. GS Elon's kids was trans. It's fine, but one passed away about, and he has many. Yeah, I saw that he blamed on X. Yeah, what in the world? Yeah, what in the world? Yeah, yeah, one of them passed away. 2002. Let's see. I don't know if I should SMH cry or laugh that adults are giving each other black eyes and kind of mudslinging. It's so ugly. Yeah, Miranda, I heard that the school did that to kid that operation, and that's why he left the Dem party. Yes, Elon has 12 kids, I think, and the baby passed away from SIDs like the blanket suffocations. That's very sad. Living two houses away from Spongebob is his best friend Patrick, a dim-witted yet friendly pink starfish who resides under a rock. Patrick considers himself to be intelligent, with his ignorance of his stupidity being a key trait of his Squidward tentacles. SpongeBob's next door neighbor and co-worker and Krusty Krab is a grumpy and bitter octopus who lives in an Easter island in Moai. He despises his job in cashier and enjoys playing the clarinet and painting self-portraits. Hello, fellow addict who was introduced to those horse tranquil ketamine. It's deadly, very sad. Never do drugs. Yeah, so basically, there's this rabbit hole about SpongeBob. So there's a conspiracy theory with SpongeBob that Pearl, which is Mr. Krabs' daughter, was adopted, and there's allegedly lost episodes about that, but it's up in the air, that if it was ever created or not. But yeah, so that there was a whale, and then Mr. Krabs adopted Pearl, and that's why it's not like a crab like he is. It's all right, Miranda. Y'all are doing good. I changed the topics like a spinning wheel. I'm all over the place. Yeah. And also, I want to say, very good job, chat. Y'all are doing great. Y'all are doing excellent. From Maya. I don't know. I don't know what Maya is. And so that is very, and also it says that she's a sperm whale. Yeah, she does look like a sperm whale. I know that sounds like a joke, but I'm serious. I studied about the cachalots, which are, I remember, and I'm going to say something else that's going to sound funny. Okay, so I read Moby Dick. I know it's kind of funny. What I just said, and he was a sperm whale. Yeah, and basically a cachalot. And it was, so I could tell Pearl looks like that because of the face. Yeah, laughing at me. Yeah, because I said something funny. Yeah, so I don't know, the Moby Dick book. I mean, there's so much things in it. It's a sperm whale and all. It's funny how they put all that together, but that was a long time ago that was written. That's a very good book, by the way. I learned, like, the first few pages of it, you learned, like, 100 different new words. Or I did, at least. And... no, they are male or female. And I study a lot about the cachalot. It's also what it's called, a cachalot. But it's usually called a sperm whale. So, sperm whale... And you have a sleeping. All right, so you see this right here. That is the sperm whales doing something. That is them sleeping. Right there. So that, in that sense, is a sperm whale sleeping. Maya Kowalski case, the mother kept making her think that she was medical issues or that she had hospital and sued the hospital with over 325 million in recall. Okay, G, thank you. Yeah, so that's how sperm whales sleep. It's like they're all about the drop of dish track or something. Like that's how they sleep. And there had to be protections put on them because of the poaching. And the Moby Dick is actually a real story. It really, something that happened in the South Pacific, off the coast of South America, a little ways off the coast, down that way. Kowalski. Okay, yeah. Yeah, so that is what Pearl is from SpongeBob, and there's a Pearl cat that Mary Toodles likes to look after. And read a little bit more, then we'll be done. All right. And also, I have a bunch of conspiracy theories and stuff all about the SpongeBob lore in different episodes. What this is like an introduction to it. I just kind of tell you all what it's about, which you already know what it's about, but it's part of the introduction of it. Who has and Pearl, who is no interest in taking over her family business. Another SpongeBob's friends is Sandy Cheeks, a thrill-seeking and aesthetic. Yeah, right, yeah, yeah. It's real. It's a very fascinating whale. SpongeBob's friends is Sandy Cheeks, a thrill-seeking and athletic squirrel from Texas who wears an air-filled diving suit to breathe underwater. She lives in a tree enclosed in a clear glass dome, locked by an airtight hand-turned seal, and is an expert in karate. Located across the street is a Krusty Krab versus its unsuccessful rival, the restaurant called the Chum Bucket. It rarely has customers due to its sale of chum based on food consisting of cannibalism by the majority of the population. I didn't even know that. Yes. It is run by a small green-eyed co-opt named Plankton and his computer wife Karen. Plankton, being a childhood friend of eventual rival Mr. Krabs, consistently tries to steal the secret recipe for Mr. Krabs' popular Krabby Patty burgers. Don't all males have sperms? Whales include cat, dog, and etc. Sharon, you are correct. That is true. Miranda said, you are correct, Sharon. Absolutely. And Miranda says, guys, the internet's going wild saying Elon did too much and had Kanye crash out. I'm not making this up. Well, Miranda, it is escalating. It's heating up as we are streaming. And yes, there you go. They both have beef on the other. It is quite wild to do, quite wild. So, and also sharing the thick, girthy, big ones. Exactly. And G said, yeah, so imagine my younger one told me there's some insect that does itself. And for some things I forgot, yeah. All right, so basically that is some stuff about the Krusty Krab, and we're going to continue to talk about SpongeBob as the streams go on, and we talk a little bit about it tonight. Yeah, so basically, Miranda, it's going to be heating up. It's going to be heating up for... Oh, and I even had it screenshot, not the Kanye crash out. Oh, okay. Yeah, I believe it, that we have to see what's real, what isn't, because of hearsay, but... yeah, definitely. I wouldn't put it past him, and it just messed his mind up. Definitely. Combined by other things that he went through. So, yeah, this is just a short show, as they say. A short show. And then we're going to have this. And that is the Google group. It's a cool cartoon. And then you're going to put that there and put it like that. Okay. So, yeah. So that is, I believe it, certainly. All right. And... basically that is it for tonight. All right, so basically what we're going to do is go here and all right, chat, well, that is all that we have to do for tonight, and we will be I'll go live tomorrow for the Friday stream. And yeah, you like that, Sharon? Yeah. So I want to thank everybody for being here and hitting the like button and hanging out with me. And this was a very great discussion, and I really appreciate this group of people. And Miranda says, a fellow recovering addict here. I wanted to say I was in psychosis when I tried a drug he is doing. It's very sad you don't know reality anymore. Miranda, my friend that I talk about aliens with, he told me to never take those kind of drugs because it'll mess up the brain and it hurts you spiritually. And yeah, Miranda, thank you for confirming that. And God bless you and heal you with all you've been through. And God bless everybody here and watching and on the channel, and even the haters and trolls too. God bless everybody. And also, G said, proud of you recovering. You can do anything. Yes, you can. Yeah, do anything. Absolutely. Oh, you're welcome, G. You're welcome. And G, so glad to be here. Thank you, Alien. Everyone, good night. See you all tomorrow. All right. Okay, everybody. See everybody tomorrow. Oh, okay. So I didn't know that I had the volume off. So basically, I want to say for thank you. Yes, it's a mess to the brain. It messes everything up. Yes, and it hurts people spiritually and stuff like that. And all right, so thank you, everybody. God bless everybody, the trolls, and everybody that supports the channel, everybody that's here, everybody everywhere. God bless all people, and thank you all for being here. Have a great evening, and peace.